Last year, I did a series of videos on the origins of the archdevils, the real world origins, and I thought it would be a good thing to do that for the demons today on Greyhawk Ragnar. So, as I said, last year I did a series of videos about the real world origins of the archdevils and the dukes of hell and so forth. And I thought it would be a fun exercise to do the same thing for the demons. Now, the demons are going to be a little bit different because a lot of them are invented for the game, so I'm just going to gloss over those. But a sizable number of them do have real world antecedents, and I wanted to explore that. So here we go. So first up, we have Demogorgon, the twin baboon-headed prince of demons from the original Monster Manual. He has an affinity for reptiles and so forth because of his scaly reptilian body. He's got two tentacles for arms and so forth. He's very vivid portrayal. Um, and the name Demogorgon comes from a misreading of the Greek for demiurge. The demiurge was a figure in classical philosophy who was the spirit who actually created the earth, the physical world, and so forth. The spirit of creativity, I guess, is the best way to put it. And so it's actually just sort of a literary invention because of that misreading. But it was eventually the name was incorporated into medieval Christian demonology. The name shows up in Faust, in Milton, in Paradise Lost, in Spenser's Fairy Queen, and so forth. It's seen in a lot of different places, so it's kind of taken on that air of authority based on that long tradition. And of course, the Demogorgon is one of the creatures now in Stranger Things, so it obviously has nothing to do with the Demogorgon in the book, but they got the name obviously from playing Dungeons and Dragons in the show. You know what I mean. So anyway, that's Demogorgon, not a real demonic entity, but with a long literary tradition stemming from classical period. So, Demogorgon. Next up, we have Orcus, the prince of the undead, with his famous wand, which was first seen in which was first described in full, I believe, in the DMG. Although it might have been in the Little Brown books too. I didn't think to check that before I opened my yap. Orcus in the game obviously is the prince of the undead, a big bloated creature with cloven hooves and the head of a like head, um, which is very different than his real world origin, which was in Etruscan religion, which was a precursor to Rome. Orcus was a god of the underworld, punisher of oath breakers and so forth. Eventually, his name became synonymous with the underworld itself, just like Hades in the Greek became a name for the underworld in general. The name, interestingly, supposedly passed into Old English, Anglo-Saxon, and that is where the word ogre or orc derives from. That's where Tolkien got it. Although Tolkien himself didn't think that etymology was valid, so it gets very complex when you start talking about these sorts of things. But definitely the French word for ogre and a lot of Romance language words come from the word Orcus. So yeah, there you go. So a deity of the underworld who got turned into the underworld and may or may not have passed into the English language as the word orc.
Hi, everybody. Please help me keep Greyhawk alive by liking this video and subscribing. It really does help. You can also become a member of the channel or support me on Patreon and get early access to my videos, exclusive content, free or at cost copies of my Greyheim Adventures modules, and more. Thanks, and now back to the show.
Next up, we move on to the Monster Manual 2 and the Demon Lord Baphomet, who is the Demon Lord of Minotaurs. He basically looks like an ogre with a huge bull's head. Um, the Baphomet figure originated in the 15th century in the Knights Templar. in their trials and so-called confessions, they admitted to worshiping a figure called Baphomet, or Baphomet, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Um, and originally, the theory is that that name derived from Muhammad, because obviously they were, they had their origins in the Middle East and had a lot of interactions with the local Muslims in the region. And the theory being that they would have picked up the worship of of Muhammad, and that kind of got bastardized into Baphomet when they were uh, dissolved. Um, in more modern times, Baphomet is a symbol of a cult order. One of the most famous depictions of Baphomet is this figure, which was created by Eliphas um, Levi, who was a very famous occultist in the 19th century. And basically, it's a hermaphroditic figure that is supposed to encompass all the duality of the world. As he put it, the sign expresses the perfect harmony of mercy with justice. One arm is female, the other is male. The He has the flame atop to symbolize light and wisdom and so forth. So that's the more modern depiction of Baphomet. Best not to ask why I have that. So anyway, that's Baphomet. Basically, just the name, and I guess the vaguely goat-like appearance can trace its way back to modern occultism. And interestingly, the Baphomet that I just showed you, which appears in a lot of different occult books, harkens back to the appearance of the devil in early tarot cards. So that's another interesting little tidbit. So anyway, there we go. Baphomet or Baphomet, depending on how you want to approach it. Next up, we have Pazuzu, the demon prince of the lower aerial regions. Um, Basically, he is the patron the patron demon of birds and things of the sky. And it's Zuzu is one of the more famous ones that you'll hear about in the real world because it was Pazuzu who was the demon in the movie The Exorcist. And in fact, the depiction of Pazuzu in here really looks close to the depiction of Pazuzu in the ancient Middle East. There are statues that survive showing him, and he's looks a lot like it. He's got the four wings, he's got the bird head, he's got the bird feet. So they leaned heavily into the real world depiction of Pazuzu um, uh, i- when they were doing the artwork for that particular entry. So there we have it, Pazuzu, real Middle Eastern demon who was the star of the Exorcist. And I have two honorable mentions because they're not demon lords, but they are demons, and they do have a real world provenance. The first being the succubus. The succubus is obviously a nighttime demon who comes in and inspires men to lust. The incubus being the male equivalent. It was basically a way in the Middle Ages of explaining away. What's the term? Nocturnal emissions. So that's been around for thousands of years. The succubus. And the other is the Type 6 demon up here. The Balor is one of the names. In the original Little Brown books, that was, of course, a Balrog. And when you look at the description, fire and wings, and the fiery sword, and the whip. It is very obviously that's where the inspiration for the Type 6 demon came from the Tolkien. And of course, when the Tolkien estate sued, that's when TSR had to change the name. So anyway, there we go. There are the demon lords and other demonic creatures that have real world connections, and the other ones that I didn't touch on here, like Lolth or Vblex or things like that, they were made up for the game. So there's a lot more of those among the demons than there are among the devils for whatever reason. So anyway, there you have it, the real world connections of demons in the Monster Manual, Monster Manual 2. Hope you like this one. I will throw up a link to the other videos in this series, so if you're interested in the devil origins, you can see that. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all.
Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.